So Halachah number 5. A person should always study Torah and afterwards marry. If he marries first, his mind will not be free for study. However, if his natural inclination overcomes him to the extent that his mind is not free, he should marry and then study Torah. So Rambam is very clear. And let's see, we're going to go with commentary and explanations. So from the beginning. A person should always study Torah and afterwards marry. So Torah is the first commentary. There is, even if he is older than 17, the age of which, according to Rambam's interpretation, the Mishnah Avos 5:22, that suggests one to marry. Okay. So he's older, even though the Mishnah in Perek Avos said if he's 17 he should marry. Right? Today maybe it's not that applicable. And today usually they get married, like people get married a little later, maybe in 20, 19, but not 17, maybe 22, 21, 22. So, but 17 is a little amateur. I mean, unless they're very mature. Of course, there are exceptions. Okay. So even as the commentary say, even he's 17 or 18, whatever age he is, and it's time to him to get married. So let him go study, and that's what people do after graduating from yeshiva. So they're 17 years old. So they go for a year or 2 years to study in Israel. From they here in America, on a different yeshiva. So some people cannot afford, of course, it costs a lot of money. So they go to different yeshiva just to study, just to get the very strong base. And then after he has established his strong base, so he can go to and get married, get a job and stuff like that. So that's Torah approach. Okay, so he has to study Torah and afterwards marry. 32. In Hilchot Yishut 15, Halachos 1 through 3, the Rambam writes that the mitzvah of studying Torah is sufficient cause to postpone the mitzvah of having children. Furthermore, even if one's desire to study is so great that one never marries, it is not considered a sin. I mean, that's on one hand, maybe it's not considered a sin if he does not marry and all his life study, but he did not do the positive mitzvah, which is the positive mitzvah is to get married and have children. And all other mitzvahs that correspond to having children. Okay. Continue. So first we study. We have we established like Torah mind as much as we can. I mean, it depends on the person. Some people study for 1 year, 2 years, as I said. But the more the better. Maybe 3 years, and then. He has time to get married and have children and go to work and all other things. Continue. If he marries first, his mind will not be free to study. I mean, the simple explanation, now he has to pay his own rent, right? He has to pay for his own grocery and stuff like that, and for him, his wife, he has to get his medical insurance, this and that. But while he lives with the parents, it's paradise, right? So it's totally different. So he got married, even though his wife, let's say, she works or he works part-time. I don't know, he goes to study. Still, it's like pressure from all of these payments, bills. It's huge. Commentary. With a millstone around his neck, with a millstone around his neck, will he be able to accompany? Will he be able to accompany himself in Torah study? I mean, it should. It says exclamation, but I think it should be like a question mark, right? It's from Kiddushin 29b. So with the millstone, or with all this problem, as we explained, about around his neck, right? And maybe he has children, after a year of the marriage, and of course that's a lot of pressure. So it's better just follow the Torah wisdom, and you go study and then you marry. However, if the natural inclination overcomes him to the extent that his mind is not free, he should he should marry and then study Torah. So his mind is not free, 34. And he's continually preoccupied with the sexual thoughts. Concerning this, Yoma 29a teaches the thought of the sin are more severe than the sin itself. Right? It's very famous concept that the thought of the sin is more than the sin itself. So sin he did once, okay, and he forgot about it. Maybe it was not as pleasurable as he originally thought, but thought of the sin, it's like continuously in his mind. And of course, people have imagination, and in imagination, everything is much better than it's actually is. Whatever with everything, right? Even with the food. So a person was craving this food, and then he had, and that's what I was craving for a year. Let's say, I don't know. I'm just saying. Right? That's nothing special. She was craving for sushi. Then they had stomach ache. Okay, but but the thought of the sins are killing a person. Okay. And if he has these thoughts, so parents must see it. Like if that's the personality of the man, or even if it's a girl, so you have to like marry them as soon as possible to keep them hanging, because it's only a matter of time before disaster is going to strike. And I had in one of the people that I learn with, every day we learn 5 days a week, 5 days, no, not today, 5 days a week we learn. And he had I don't know how many sons he has. A lot of sons, maybe 6 or 7 sons. And it was a wedding of, I think, the oldest son, I think. And then we saw the youngest, and you see the youngest, how he's with the guests, with the ladies. I came over to him, I said, you have to marry this one. He said, no, everybody knows that this guy you have to marry, even though he's the youngest. I'm not sure how old was he at that time. Maybe he was 20, 19, 20. So they got them married like very soon, even before the other brothers, because it was like disaster in making. I mean, very nice personality, but okay. So that's a responsibility of the parents to see it. So in this case, if you see, this kind of person, he should marry and then study Torah. 35. So about this family, so the oldest son, I mean, he was so much into Torah, he did not want to get married. I mean, he got married, maybe he was 26 already. I mean, they pressured him, everybody. So he got married. He was fine, but the youngest was fire. Okay. No, not the youngest, the younger in a marriageable age, let's put it this way. Okay. 35. Consoling himself with the knowledge that he will still be able to study for 2 or 3 years before his financial burden becomes great. Okay. So meaning go and marry and then study Torah maybe for a few more years. Okay.